I sent her.
Two schools have it.
Hey,
Two schools have it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's her. Better not appear virtually.
she said she's gonna try.
Is she?
I said, yeah, don't worry.
She needs a glass that size, that'd be good.
She said.
Yeah.
They were getting ready to go to the next.
I don't know, I've got scheduled tickets or something.
For her.
I remember going through Santa Barbara County.
Yeah.
You.
I've never been out
We
there.
go through the wineries. Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Did you take the wine?
No, we drove everywhere. Not massive.
And now we will do that.
My training. My father. I like that.
Oh, yeah. Couple days. Okay. Yeah.
You're fine. You're fine.
But now it's like.
Oh, yeah.
They make a whole lot of it. Karen, you having a good day?
Yeah, I think so. If I can keep this working correctly, and I think, I don't know if Marissa's coming on here.
I don't know if he's gonna.
I don't know.
We're
We'll
gonna
see.
run out there.
Yeah, I don't know if she'll be able to be on. She said she's gonna text me if she can't get on.
Okay,
He's got
good.
a TV.
So,
I don't think so.
and I told her,
As a family.
I told her not to worry about it. This is preliminary because she's out there.
Have fun.
Just past me.
And everybody has that.
Yes. Just preliminary. Put it out there. Any questions?
Where? Be good for 3 days to come out either 9. Thanks about Sunday.
I get
Well,
Had those two little prongs. It's got 3 prongs.
Up here?
This is the
You
drive.
charge the battery. or
Yes.
Check it out real quick.
Should be as, SH.
It is, God,
Okay.
sorry.
No, that's fine.
They adjust. Oh, I know. What about going through Always goes off. Police officer looks down and says, "I see this trouble before." I said, "I got one up here now." He just want to check. Nice all day long. I think that's-
Those are all these entire. Yeah. Well, they have full-time retirees. I haven't got to tell you, so we look at it, we did a lot of it there, because I was worried about
Which seems to-
Yeah.
So what you do when you retire?
I'm done, I'm done.
I've said that.
No, let's go.
My grandpa.
What road were they on?
My grandpa.
They're thinking going.
He said if your weight fluctuates 400 pounds.
Keep going 425.
What's the difference?
Now, when we did the reconstruction, I said the only road you can go on are Pelham Avenue.
Oh, yeah, it would. It would. Yeah, you'd see him sitting there. In his chair, he goes off.
I caught him on my street.
Yeah.
3 houses down. They even, when it was Oxford or whatever.
Like 3 years.
I'm like,
after he had
"You
those
really?"
lines.
I called him up, I go, "You're 3 houses."
Yeah, it is.
When, that's Labor Day week? Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
For a while.
looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you run across the back.
Just run across, because they shut it down, so it's one way. So you remember, saying, back over.
Yeah. So how many miles are they?
It's 4 miles.
4 miles.
So I did the bridge down to Florida, 7 Mile Bridge. I did that about 3 years ago.
There you go.
Yeah.
That cool?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a, it's going up and coming down. Come down. They'll come down, she's right, I'm like, down, it's going really fast.
Yeah.
You're trying to stop yourself.
Yeah.
Trying to get-
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Different.
It's a different.
So on the activate, are you on the steel brakes or is it
I
on?
hope they put it on the side and they shut down, so I don't want to run still break.
Yeah, well, yeah, you trip on that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, and going there later,
I'm sorry.
any other family members going with you?
Yes, my husband's going, and then we have another couple going and we're running with me.
They gonna run too?
One of, not my husband, and not for his wife.
Okay,
Are you?
that'd be cool.
Yes.
She's got you signed up, Willie. She's got you signed up for it too. If I can get really.
Get him out there.
We'll call the special meeting August 25th, Pelham County Council order. Have a moment of silence. Sounds like.
You might have to mute her. Yeah, she's muted now.
Okay.
I think probably in the shade.
Don't call it.
Yeah, she's showing off. And do the pledge of allegiance. Okay. Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
call Willie, please.
Bob Jones,
I'm here.
Steve Denny,
Here.
Shane Davis.
Here.
Chet Bab.
Here.
Marissa Skaggs.
Here
Where?
in Napa.
Okay.
Dedication right there.
Okay, let's go to our old business going on. We'll have the safe haven baby box contract. We do have that contract now, and as soon as we vote tonight, move forward, I'll get it signed. Chris Nodine will get it signed, and we'll get everything to where we can keep everything moving right along. So, anybody on the council got any questions on what we're doing, how we're doing it, what's going on? I think it's been very well explained.
Yeah.
What we're going to do.
Get you and Chief to sign the other one, do a picture.
Do what?
Can we get you and Chief Nodine to sign that together to get a picture on? Okay, thanks.
That's a great project. It's one of those things that, like the every infant comes into the world is wanted by the parents. You want to keep the child, but reality steps in, and that's not always the case for many different reasons. So I think it's a good project to have for our community. Hopefully it's never used. It's one of the things like a fire department. You hope you never have any fires, but the reality is what you do. So I hope that we get this done, that is not used.
Yeah. Resolution.
No, you're voting to approve the contract, authorize you and the chief to sign.
That's a quick question. Yep. Is there any connectivity between the box and contact? I just haven't heard about it.
There's an alarm system like through the alarm company and it will dispatch fire, but I don't know about this.
Could it go to fast and just?
That's-
It's fire and EMS.
Any other questions or comments?
I had one comment, Mr. President. There is, and I talked to Chief Nodine earlier this week, maybe last week. There are a few options and things with this as far as installation. Chief wasn't aware as of yet which options the town would need. We can get a discount if we pick it up. There's an option for a pre-installed camera. It's another $1,000. So if my recommendation would be that the council authorize up to $15,000 for this installation. That would cover any option that may be
It
necessary.
doesn't cover it. Last I knew, it was 20,000.
So we were doing the 20,000 we were doing, which we're raising all the funds, so you guys are not paying for that. But the box itself is 11,500, I believe. Jeff, I've not seen the contract.
It's 11,000, 12,000
And
pre-installed.
she said you don't want to come pick it up for $500. We deliver it because it's, I guess it takes equipment, stuff is big. So we're planning on raising 20,000 total because when we get everything done, we also then will be able to do some advertisement. And Burlines are doing it and we haven't gotten their bid, but it may all be done pretty economically, very cheap. So
That's 27. I just don't have to come back, do it again. So 20,000 is perfectly fine with me.
That's what we're going to do, of course, $20,000 for the contract. Any questions on this? It's pretty straightforward.
Comment on that. If we do approve this, Julie, on where can people send a check if they want to make a donation?
right, so
It's in the contract.
It's in the contract.
Yeah, I think just publicly.
And once we sign it and turn it into them, then Safe Havens creates a Facebook
Right.
post for us and a GoFundMe online. And so they'll be able to give online too. So even though we've already gotten a handful of checks already, so.
So people can drop a check off if we do approve this at your office
Yeah, or the fire station
or the fire station. Thank you.
or town hall, I guess, too. So, yeah.
Just a couple minor changes I've made that you may not have the latest version of your drive. It's just, they're non-substantive. The contract could go ahead and be approved today. Just for who do we want to receive notice? That'd be the Pendleton Town Manager. And then there's language as well that because the project itself references a code that applies to local fire departments. I changed some language so that it's our fire department for our town council. Verbiage, lawyer stuff, non-substantive. It doesn't affect the signature pages, so we can go ahead and sign it.
Okay,
But those changes were already okayed by St. David.
okay. Yeah, I seen that. Yes.
Chief Farr.
Yep.
Under procedures, when the baby box is activated here on the contract, it said emergency personnel, including firefighters, police officers, EMT, and paramedics be notified. And an alarm is activated to signal 911 when the door is open and the newborn has been placed inside. So
I heard a nightmare story of Chesterfield when this was first installed over there. The chief had the baby, went to the hospital, get medical care just to, have the baby checked out. And it was kind of like, now what? And so I'm hoping that's all ironed out. That's why I was just wondering what our involvement was. We're more than willing to help. We're more than willing to be dispatched to the box. So that's no problem. I just want to make sure that's the policy. Do what we're going to do.
take it on, raise it.
There we go. Raise it up like a sure.
Going to the farm.
There you go.
There we go.
Any more questions or comments? I recommend the council voice for Marissa in on this, that we go ahead and authorize for me and Chief Nodine to sign this contract and get it going. Will it, please?
Bob Jones,
Aye.
Dane Davis,
Aye.
Steve Denny,
Aye.
Marissa Skaggs,
Aye.
Chet Bab.
Aye. Let's approve 5-0. We'll get that done as quick as we can. Okay, the next is new business is the 2023 budget hearing. This will be a public hearing, so I will recess, is that the right word?
Yes.
The current meeting, and we'll go to the public hearing on the budget. The budget has been posted and advertised in the newspaper, on the doors, everything we're supposed to do. And we'll say this before we do any voting. Karen has worked herself off on this, and we're about 2 months ahead since I've been on the council, which is a good thing because it gives us time to work on things where there's a disagreement. And we're getting things worked out better and quicker as far as I'm concerned. So any public input from anybody that'd like to say anything, now's the time. Is there anybody online? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I have a speech written up about some budgetary concerns I have and some other stuff.
Come up there and identify yourself, that's fine.
My name is Nathan Davis. Most of you in town know me as Elfie. I own the toy store here called Magication Station. I know I look and sound a lot different. Anyway, I am a member of this community and also a store owner in the town of Pendleton. I'm coming before you today to talk about the concerns I have that I believe we can all resolve together. My first issue is the lack of foot traffic on a daily basis, especially on Sunday. This town has so much charm and natural resources, but it is not the destination for most visitors. It is more of a scene as a drive-through to go to another neighboring area. We see great foot traffic on specific events. How do we continue that foot traffic to count towards the economy of the area? A future wish of this is to see downtown become an open air market. But in the interim, we must work towards ideas to increase foot traffic without causing unnecessary strain. This brings me to one of my concerns about the peddler's license. Sunday Fun Day was a concept that I was working towards to help fill this gap with other business owners. While there was a misunderstanding on the permitting needed, I can assure you my intentions were just in this cause. The food truck that was there didn't have the required Pendleton Peddler's permit, but all state required permits and certifications. I take full responsibility for not conveying the specific permit needed for the food truck since I organized it. And I lost my place. Okay. I can assure you, where am I? Sorry. Lost my place. Sorry about that. All right. I do understand that the permit will be discussed at the next council meeting on 9/8. I will not be able to attend this meeting, so I am briefly going to address this here. I understand the reasons for the permit qualifications. I think that limiting the number of permits issued at a given time would provide the same results without punishing permit holders. This could also allow us downtown businesses to move forward with these many events in town. We are not trying to take away business from our great restaurants in town, but create a fun and inviting atmosphere that will promote foot traffic. In the 2-hour span that we had our event on Sunday, with Pork Paradise, we noticed an increase in our foot traffic. People were entering shops, actually exploring downtown. When they had to leave within 15 minutes, it was a ghost town. And most shops closed as a result. Please reflect upon this when this is discussed at the next council meeting. I also want to address some concerns as far as signage. I think that the signs that we have in town are aesthetically pleasing to the eye. I really love the forest green and gold logo of our town. But with parking signs, they're hard to read, and at a distance, we can't really see them. They're non-reflective. With people going through town that are not from here, or they just moved here, I think it would be better if these signs were more visible. Plus, they should denote public parking to clarify. There are many that pass through and all they see is the parallel parking spaces, and that discourages them from stopping. Especially when there's heavy traffic that can come through here. Which leads me to my next concern. A crosswalk signal on Main Street. Many people cross there for the post office or Yummerful. That would greatly assist until further avenues to alleviate downtown traffic can be found. My final concern is public restrooms. Many businesses do not allow people into their businesses to use the restroom due to the age of the building and the plumbing demands. Having public restrooms would help, especially for events when the only other options is porta potties. Parking, crossing safety, and restroom facilities are all needed downtown. And if not considered now, hopefully they will be reflected upon in future budget meetings. Thank you for your time.
Clarification about being on the agenda for 9/8. Did someone intend?
Marissa,
Huh?
Marissa said she was gonna put it on for.
I didn't want you coming on the 8th.
I think that the idea that Nathan's trying to say is that possibly we're looking at a situation where the peddler's permit was not designed for food truck use. I think that the peddler's permit, and I haven't reviewed it thoroughly, but it seems to me that the peddler's permit was aimed more toward door-to-door solicitation, and not something that somebody necessarily would elect to go use. Like, I'm going to walk up to a food truck. Instead, I got a person coming and trying to sell me a garage door, door-to-door. And I'm not saying that State Street is necessarily the right spot for a food truck, but I think it's an issue that we're going to run into more and more, and that we need to probably do our due diligence to make sure that what we are using as our one size fits all ordinance, which is the peddler's permit and event permits, is allowing for flexibility, but also accountability. And so I don't mind taking point on that and reviewing the ordinance as it's written in conjunction with, the chief's help and that sort of situation. I mean, as far as reviewing that ordinance and that permit.
I just want to clarify that part. Any other comments for the budget here?
It's on the website. I've been scrolling trying to find
Us
it.
old guys can't hear.
Oh. Is the budget on the website? I've been trying to find it for the last couple of minutes.
It's not on the website, it's, I don't think it's ever been posted on the website.
I looked for it earlier.
No, it's not posted on the website. It's how we find it. We never have.
Have you got a question on it, or you want to
Well,
look
I
at
just
it?
wanted to look at it.
Yeah.
You know, I like numbers.
Yeah, I know. So do I.
I can get her a copy. I can get you a copy.
Okay,
Carol.
just, yeah.
Yeah, no, okay. I just get it tomorrow.
Old people can't see that far.
I know, I can't hear you that far away.
Good, Coco.
All right.
Is there? Carol, do you want?
There's an intent there.
All of it? Oh, all of it? And that's fine. I'm just telling you, I mean,
Is there like a summary page or?
let me see if I can come up with a summary page. How's that?
Okay.
Okay,
All right, I'll stop by tomorrow.
that's great.
Okay. Thank you.
It's not anything I'm trying to hide. It's just that I don't think it ever has been
No,
posted
no,
or
no,
on the website. I don't know if I'm.
Something to consider just for the future.
Yes, it
Any
is.
Questions by just being,
That's good. Yeah.
Good point.
Any other things from public input? Nobody besides Marissa online? I don't see anything.
I was.
That's fine. At this time, I'm gonna close the public input portion of this meeting and reopen the council business on the 2023 budget hearing. Any questions from council? If not, I entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the 2023 budget.
I'll second that.
Thank you, guys. I have a motion, a second on the 2023 hearing, budget hearing. Roll call, please.
Bob Jones,
Aye.
Shane Davis,
Aye.
Steve Denny,
Aye.
Marissa Skaggs,
Aye.
Chet Bab,
Aye. Budget is approved 5-0. That's all we got on the new business. Any more public inputs? Thank you.
Enjoy your time, Marissa.
I'll be back on Sunday. Don't worry. I won't stay gone long. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
Hi.